All right, folks, it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Normally we do it on Tuesday, but things happen and life be life. And folks, you got to change up. You got to be able to change on a dime. And we just did, so we 1 day late. But in the meantime, ain't nothing changed. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. You're live with your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. And on my other screen, the Robin to my Batman. We call him the Dusty One. What's up with you, Doc?
What up, Lonzo? How you feeling today, man?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good, man. Feeling pretty good.
Good. A lot going on, man. Let's jump right into it, man. We got a lot on the table today. I guess the first biggest story, and shout out to the chat before we get started. I see him joining right now. Shout out to everybody watching. Please hit that like button before you get a little too comfortable. That helps out the algorithm. But yeah, man. So I guess the biggest story this past week, Lonzo, would be the fires that have ravaged Southern California, big parts of Los Angeles County. Let's talk about that, man. I guess first things first, let's just talk about what your thoughts were when you started seeing this thing just get out of control.
You know, I woke up to it and I'm like, huh? Are you serious? At first, I couldn't believe it, dude. I couldn't believe it. Mm-hmm. To see Pacific Palisades, Altadena, and various parts of the city on fire. I mean, we talk about prominent. We're not talking about no slums, dude. We're talking about some prominent properties that have been destroyed, probably permanently, dude. And to be a part of the perfect storm that took place. I mean, we had 100-mile-an-hour winds that day. When this thing first started, we had 100. We have never had winds like that before. Never, ever, ever. And to see it take place and grow so fast, and even the helicopters and the water dropping planes couldn't do anything because the winds were so bad. So firemen would just pretty much help us. Then, well, no enough water. Come on, man. That's like, huh? Ain't enough water? What you mean ain't enough water? Well, one of the main reservoirs, who has like 1 billion gallons, it's been empty for like a year. According to the newscast, it's been down for maintenance. How long it take to fix something? Anyway, man, it's just a lot of balls been dropped. It reminded me of something else, man. It reminded me of another national tragedy that I don't know most people. You know, if you wasn't around in 2001. When I remember the situation in New York with the World Trade Center, and perfect, you know, another situation that was like, huh? How could we have all type of safety nets in place to prevent that from happening? But just that particular day, everything was not in place and nothing was right. Everybody that was supposed to be left was on the right. Everybody that was supposed to be in town was out of town, and a catastrophe took place. And it was, again, like I said, it was like a perfect storm of events and mishaps that allowed something to happen.
Yeah. There's a lot to unpack with this. So let's talk about it. First of all, before we get started, did you get that alert that gave half of LA a fucking heart attack saying to evacuate? Did you get that evacuation alert?
Nah, I think I might have been asleep. I don't know.
You didn't get it, huh? Yeah, so we got most of the people I know got it, but it said evacuate, and I'm like, but people in all over LA County were getting it. So what happened, Lonzo? You probably heard about this. They sent out the evacuation notice to certain people in LA County. Then about 5 minutes later, they sent out a text saying, "Oh, just kidding. We meant Kern County or some other county that is on fire."
Just kidding.
They didn't say just kidding. They didn't say just kidding. Apologize. The last text, whatever. I'm going verbatim. The last text was a mistake. That was supposed to go out to Kern County. So we get that. Okay, cool. Everything's fine. Then we get another text saying to evacuate. And that was where it stopped for me. It was with 3 texts, but apparently people kept getting texts after text after text. And it was just a machine that messed up. Welcome to California. I mean, this is our government. And so, I mean, we can't get anything right, going back to the water thing. But I'm surprised you didn't get that text, because almost everybody I know got multiple texts. Did you hear about anyone getting them?
I heard about people getting it, but no, my neighborhood got it. Put it that way. I don't recall. I remember I saw the newscast that that corrected the mistake, but I don't recall having any conversations with anybody in my neighborhood. I live almost in Gardena, man, so I'm way away from the fires. I'm not in LA. I'm in South. I'm in fact here. Check this out. As big as Los Angeles City is, I'm like on the last street of Los Angeles City. Okay. The city of Los Angeles goes from El Segundo Boulevard, all the way to the valley.
Yeah.
All the way to the valley. And if I cross El Segundo, I'm in Gardena, Compton, or something else. So maybe they realized that I was too far south to be affected. But you know, I don't recall getting I don't recall getting anything, to tell you the truth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Damn near gave me a heart attack. But it just it even makes me feel like I'm not prepared for a natural disaster, and I don't think most of us are. I mean, honestly, do you think you're prepared for a big natural disaster right now in your home? I know I mean, to a certain extent, I am. I have more things than a lot of other people have, but I'm not. I don't think I'm prepared, man.
After 911, I got a ton of water. We got portable toilets. I got generators. I don't have no gas for them, but I got generators. Okay, one of them is a electric generator, which don't do no good because I got to use the gas generator to charge up the electric generator. Okay, but am I prepared? I would say not really, dude.
Yeah,
and that was something that excuse me, I covered in my newspaper. This was the Hub City Legend. I covered that in the Hub City Legend because if I equated the situation to Compton. I live close to Compton. According to the news, 20 some odd square miles was burnt. Okay. A lot of acreage. It was like hundreds, thousands of acres have been burnt. They converted those to miles. The mileage that was burnt, that would be from the beach, well, that would be all the way to the ocean to my house. Okay. That means all of Compton, all the cars would be burnt up right now. Now, we don't have a lot of, we have a few trees. We don't have a lot of trees. What we do have in our neighborhoods, a lot of oil wells.
Oh yeah,
Cars a lot. From almost from the ocean. There's tanker trucks. There's refineries. I know for a fact that there are oil lines running all up and down Rosecrans, El Segundo. That's been a known fact for years. In fact, there are even gas lines running up and down Rosecrans Avenue through Gardena and Compton. How do I know that? During the 1978 gas crisis, me and my brother worked at Record Shack, and every day we saw this tanker by this little shack off of Main Street in Rosecrans. We saw the tanker. We didn't pay no attention, but it was odd to see a tanker truck pull up to this little shack. The shack just popped up one day. We didn't think about it. Man, we looked up on the news after about a week or so. The news was standing in front of the little shack. This guy had tapped into the well, the gas line. He was selling gas illegal. He had a tanker truck. He filled the tanker truck up with gas and go out and sell the gas. Sell the bootleg gas, put the bottom line. He was slanging bootleg gas. And I remember seeing the truck and the little facility every morning going to Record Shack, dude. So yeah, I know there's a lot of tanker trucks. I mean, there's a lot of lines, and something that we really might not think about until you see how many of them traveling down the tracks is we got a gang of tanker trains going all through the city. all through the city. I don't know what they're carrying. I have no idea. But some of them you do see flammable and other danger signs on the truck. So although excuse me, although we may not be in line for a forest fire, one of those tankers go up or derail or whatever, we could have a problem, dude. There could be a problem. There could be a problem. And those trains travel all over, all over. I think the last train track that I remember seeing, well, they're all over, but I know a lot of them travel through Compton and not far from where I live. Traffic is constantly being stopped for multiple, I'm talking about 50, 60 tanker trains going down the train tracks not far from where I live. So yeah, there's all type of potential for various types of disasters in the hood. There may not be, like I say, my people was calling, hey man, you all right? I see the fires. I said, I don't worry about fires over here. Only time we have fires is when somebody set them, okay? For the most part. If ain't nobody pissed off, we pretty much are gonna be all right. But nonetheless, there is potential for other things that could definitely be devastating if not handled properly.
Yeah. Now, with tragedy, brings out the best in people, and it also brings out the unfortunate worst in people. But I'm looking at 40 people arrested so far for looting, taking advantage of people at their weakest moments. And unfortunately, I'm looking, they have a collage of mugshots, and I'm seeing a lot of black and brown faces. Yeah, man. What do you think about these looters who are taking advantage of people out there, Lonzo?
They ain't shit. They ain't shit. I think probably one that wins the Ain't Shit Award for the 2025 January award show is the one that dressed up like a fireman going to people's houses and steal their shit. You a double ain't shit. Okay, you a double turd. Okay, you know that means you plan to go do some low life shit. It's one thing to ride down the street and see money blowing down the street and you see the safe open, something like that. I mean, that's one thing. But to go and buy some fire gear, helmet and jacket, the whole 9 yards, and start trolling people's houses to find whatever leftover values they got, man, that's some low shit.
Definitely. Yeah, you just gave me an idea, Alonzo. I think I'm going to put a show together for us called the Ain't Shit Awards. Yes. And I'm gonna pick a bunch of topics, and we're gonna see who the biggest ain't shit, who gets the Ain't Shit Award for February, March. Turn it into a bit. You just gave me an idea. But yeah, these people they ain't shit, man. They definitely ain't shit. It's crazy. Yeah, let's see. So yeah, I guess that's about it, man. On the fires, anyone who was affected, my heart is with you. I know I smell to this day, I still smell the smoke around here. I just took my dog out for a walk and it still smells like there's a barbecue outside, even though the closest one is about 20 miles from me in Altadena. But yeah, man, it's a scary situation, man.
I talked to one of my friends. He lives in Granada Hills. My friends and former manager, Swamp Dog. He's 81 years old. Mm-hmm. I saw a news flash. Hey, be ready to evacuate in Granada Hills. Like, oh shit, that's what Swamp Dog. I checked it. Hey man, what's happening? Man, we just got a notice to evacuate. I said, you all right? He said, man, I'm all right. I got my bag packed. I'm ready to go if they come get me. And I'm like, dude, I said, how far is the fire? He said, it's 3 miles away from me. But they look like it might be all right. He said, this is my 5th time going through this. He's always lived in the hills or woodsy areas. He said, this is his 5th time going through an evacuation notice. And so far, he never lost a house. I talked to him yesterday. He's still okay. But it's just, dude, you bouncing around, minding your business. All of a sudden, you ain't got shit no more. It's gone. Everything you ever had is gone. I was sitting in my studio, man, just looking around at all the stuff I have in the studio, dude. I couldn't save a camera, a roll of tape, a jacket, nothing. All I could do is grab what I can grab and little money I got and get the hell up out of here, dude. And if you were asleep when everything jumped off, you didn't have time to get that, man. That is truly devastating, dude. You know, it's hard to watch the news, because news don't focus on the worst of the worst. But it's also amazing to see how some houses, a house in the middle ain't been touched, but 2 houses around them is gone. How did that happen? What law of physics prevented that from happening? I don't understand that. And and again, my heart goes out to anybody, and then it goes out to everybody that's been affected by the situation. And you don't realize how many different ways things are affected. And people got horses and cows and dogs, and you loved your dog, man. Your dog, did the dog make it? Did the dog just take off running, and will you ever see it again? And if you got a horse, what do you put the horse at? Did the horse just burn up? I mean, and then the schools are gone. Schools are gone. So now people are scrambling to first find a place to live and then take your kid. Come on, man. That's a whole lot, dude. Talking about some mental health issues, that's a whole lot to have to deal with. Find a place for your kid while you're trying to find a place to stay and find a change of clothes. And to change your clothes. Because you don't have none. All you went to the store, woke up, ran out the house, all you had on your pajamas or your sweats or whatever the case may be. Now you have nothing. Dude, that is extremely devastating to no end.
Yeah. Gary's Garage brought up a good point. He said, what about the insurance companies canceling policies? So I heard right before the fires happened, apparently a lot of people lost their insurance. I didn't dive too deep into that, but do you know anything about that?
I heard California was doing a lot of cancellations, especially in that area, because of the potential for something like this happening. Insurance companies ain't shit. Come on, ain't shit. Insurance companies ain't shit. They take your money for 30 years, and all of a sudden, you know what? We did a survey. We ain't fucking with you no more. We did a survey. They ain't messing with you. Your situation has changed. They ain't shit. Okay. All the money you done gave us, because this is usually to insure a house costs roughly about between 20 to anywhere between 17 to, I don't know, to the value of your house might be $3,000-4,000 a year, $4,000-5,000 a year. I know I think my insurance is like $2,500 a year. Okay, so you do that times 30 years, and you got a nice piece of change, Doc. Okay, I ain't never filed no claims. You almost better not file a claim, because if you do, they talking about canceling your ass as soon as you need the money. Oh, they don't want to bust with you no more. That's the part that all insurance companies should be required not to cancel a person in the event they need the insurance. That shouldn't even be up to the insurance company. That should be a law that a person, if you have an accident, a car accident, or a home situation, you have to use your insurance policy. Damn it, you can't cancel me because I used it. The whole purpose for having it in the first place. Okay, you shouldn't be able to. It should be illegal for them to cancel somebody just because they filed a claim, especially if it's a legitimate claim. Now, if it's some illegal bullshit, I got you. For a while that was happening with people in health insurance. If you got sick, they cancel you. Huh? That's what Obamacare stopped. All right, they stopped that kind of shit. So it should be, for somebody to take your money and say, I'm gonna be here for you if I need you. But as soon as I need you, they close the door in your face. Nah, man. Nah. And the fact that people, they are allowed to, like a health insurance company is allowed to stretch out your treatment or even deny treatment, knowing that you need it to make more money at the end of the quarter, then that should be fucking illegal again, dude. That's why Homeboy was so upset with the CEO a few weeks ago. Dude, you playing with people's lives, and how do you empathize a person with that kind of mindset? You didn't care about nobody when you had the button or the trigger to save or end somebody's life. Now that somebody ended your life, we all supposed to feel sorry for you. It's kind of hard, dude. It's kind of hard. Kind of hard. You always want to have some empathy, but this guy had no empathy for nobody. So, and when the insurance companies start nitpicking you about about different situations. It's real hard to start to just all state farmers, whatever it is. It's kind of hard to. Hey man, I had one incident recently with my son's car, and that was probably the smoothest situation I've ever had. And he had a car wreck. It was his fault too, and they still honored everything, dude. And the deal was done. From the time he had his car wrecked to the time we got a check for the car, it was maybe 3 weeks. Okay, no questions asked. And they actually gave us more than I thought the car was worth myself. I don't know, but man, it was he was able to jump out of one car right into another one. Okay, jump out of one right into another one. And he actually got a better. He actually came up on the deal. Okay, so yeah, Doc, it is what it is, man. I pray everybody is able to recover. It's going to take a while. And I was talking to a friend of mine. She works at one of the organizations that's been providing clothing and things of that nature. But right now, they say people need cash. They need gift cards. They need to really go buy stuff that you just people just don't donate. People giving up coats and old clothes and stuff. But man, I need some drawers.
Brand new.
Who wants some donated drawers, huh?
Preferably brand new.
Preferably brand new. Okay. I appreciate the shirt and the pants and the boots and the tennis shoes, but I gotta have some fresh drawers, bro. I gotta have them on. I gotta go to Target and pick up me a pair of double X's or a pair of X's, whatever it is. Okay, my kids. Hey man, I appreciate the jackets and the coats and the blankets, but when it comes to drawers, brother need a fresh pair. And socks. Most people ain't that keen on used socks.
Correct.
So it's certain things that people have to go out and purchase. So I'm working with her to try and get some gift cards and some other financial instruments so that we can help people do what they do, man.
Nice. Beautiful. I love it. Let's move on to the next subject I would like to talk about. Lonzo, before we move on, I'm going to ask everybody to hit that like button if you haven't already. And if you have any questions for the godfather of West Coast hip hop, Alonzo Williams, drop them in the chat. I'll copy and paste them and put it on my board here. But today is Martin Luther King's birthday, Lonzo. So I would love to talk a little bit about MLK and specifically to someone who was around when he was alive, which I think is so cool. Now, let's just take it all the way back, man. We've talked about MLK before, but we're going to break it down because this is birthday weekend. We got to celebrate all weekend. But what did America see Martin Luther King as? How did they view him? How did you view him? How did your parents view him? Give us a little breakdown of that.
It all depends on who you talk to, man, because as a kid, I wasn't privy to all the adult conversations, but I did hear a few. And depending on the level of niggerverse you was dealing with, now I call it niggerverse now. He's just a troublemaker. He's making everybody having hard times. Some people was behind him, but you had those detractors too, man. You had people that was like, nah, man, he stopped doing it because people hadn't been used to getting what he was asking for. A lot of people didn't think he was capable of him doing what he was doing, but those who were out there, my mom loved him. My dad loved him. It was like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. They were like, they were always, it was like one of the first times I saw division in the streets because I never knew what a militant was, but when you had certain people, the Christians love MLK and the militants love Malcolm X. Like the Black Panthers and folks like that, they were pretty much on the Malcolm X side. But a lot of the older people, now here's the crazy part. He wasn't even that old when he was doing what he was doing. He was in his early 30s when he started doing what he was 36 when he died. He hadn't even made 40 years old. And when I think about and talk about the revolutionaries of our time, they were mostly kids, dude. They were mostly kids. Malcolm X, he wasn't a kid. I mean, Martin Luther King wasn't a kid per se, but he wasn't 40 years old, dude. And usually by, again, at that time, 40 was a different kind of dude than the 40s we see right now. Um, he had what, 2, 3 kids and a wife, and he was out there, wreaking havoc. And then you wonder why he was having a little fun because he still was a young dude. I'm not I'm not condoning or judging. I'm just saying what the rumor was. He was having a good time. He was a relatively young dude, with a lot of attention. And like I said, I ain't trying to judge, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So I know you mentioned this in the past that you were more of a Malcolm guy. If you had to choose one or the other, you said you were more of a Malcolm guy. Is that correct?
I think I was more leaning toward the Malcolm situation. As again, I was a youngster, so being a young rebel, man. I mean, you influenced by certain things. Um, all the stuff that Martin was doing was based around the church, okay, which was cool, nothing wrong with that. But Malcolm was like, you know what? Hey, I'm not going for this no more. I'm tired of this. Okay. And it was a whole different mindset. Eventually they both kind of melted together. But Malcolm was, hey man, I'm not turning my other cheek no more. If you're gonna hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. And we heard about the dogs on being sicked on Martin. We saw the beatings on television, him going to jail. Malcolm was like, no, 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 no. We're gonna put some brothers together. We're gonna have our own army. We're gonna stand up for ourselves. And that was something that was very impressive as a young man. Walking and getting beat up was never a good look.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay,
That makes a lot
walking,
of sense.
all this walking and all these dogs and police and water hoses. This is not. This
Take a
is
strong person to go through that shit. After the first day, I'm done. I'm out. I'm sorry. I'm
and
out.
not fight back. And not fight back. No, that's not a good look. That's not a good look, man. I'm not trying to make light of it, but it's real hard to in today's mindset. If I was in that time, you never know. I might have been right there with him, hard sole shoes and all, walking across the bridge and get my ass bit by dogs.
That's hilarious. Let's go to hypothetical land,
Wait,
Lonzo.
stop.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Stop. And here's something it just dawned on me. Because everything they did was in hard sole shoes, man. They wasn't sporting no tennis shoes. They was dressed. They was dressed in suits and ties, walking across bridges, running from dogs, and sometimes fight with the police. Could you imagine what that was like in that time? There wasn't no Nikes, there wasn't no key. Man, there wasn't no PF Flyers yet. Converse hadn't even been, this is almost 66, 67. This is 65, 66, 67. Man, I don't even think PF Flyers was made back then, man. So you were strolling in your Sunday court clothes. That's what I call them, Sunday court clothes, across a bridge with jackets on. Sometimes it was hot, sometimes it was cold. And you dealing with the police with big sticks and bigger and mad dogs coming across the bridge. Think about that, man.
Never thought about that. Just slipping and sliding, trying to get that damn dog off of you, right?
Ain't no traction.
None.
Ain't no traction. You ain't no Jordan. You can't hop over nothing.
Damn. Let's go to hypothetical land, Lonzo. What do you think Martin Luther King would think about the state of Black people today as a whole in America?
He probably shake his head and go, damn, all them dog bites, all the water for this. All them dog bites, all the jail time, and I got shot for this. Dude, man, it definitely would make him rethink his position. If he could have a crystal ball to see the future, would he really be willing to fight and die what for his legacy at this point. Yeah, we got his birthday as a day off and a holiday in most states. A lot of people were affected in a positive way by his movement. But in general, you think because he fought for everybody. He didn't fight for some people. He fought for blacks and he fought for niggas. Okay, we had more. I think we had more black folks back then, and the mentality that everybody is so embracing had not been embraced at that time. And even if you weren't a active marcher or a supporter, you might have gave him a couple dollars, you might have did something to support that dude. Made a big difference. Made a big difference.
Yeah, man. So it's safe to say you don't think Martin Luther King would be bumping Sexy Red?
Nah, I don't think he'd be bumping Sexy Red. I don't think so, Doc. I don't think he'd be bumping Sexy Red at all. I think he would be shaking his head someplace going, what, man? What part of this did I miss? We was talking about, me and my nephew were talking about this situation today. I've been doing some different interviews on Clubhouse, and we were talking about the N-word.
Mm-hmm.
And like I explained to him, I was born in the 50s, 57 to be exact. And my dad was my best friend. Well, I admired my dad. And for him to call somebody a nigger, it was never a term of endearment. Look at that nigga, boy. Nigga just, and he always, nigga just can't get it together. And he didn't always refer to every black man as that word. It was never directed at everybody. You had to kind of earn that word to him. We had winos. We didn't have crackheads. We had winos back then. Well, niggas in that wine, but a wine will take a nigga out. And so for me, it's real hard to use that word as a term of endearment. I was always taught it was not something to be used. It was always a derogatory term. Plus, he would never say that in front of white people. Never. Never. Okay. It was always a certain standard that he kept. He might say it under his breath, but he never would say it out loud. Okay. And he never called me one. I pissed him off a couple times. I ain't no perfect dude. I pissed him off a couple times. Nah. Now, here's something I was talking to my buddy the other day about. He hates the N-word. But we call each other MFs all day long.
Yeah, apparently you could fuck up my mother, but
hey man, I said, dude, I thought about this because
that's funny.
His mama calls me, hey motherfucker. Okay, I'm not bullshitting. His 90-year-old mother. We were talking about we had a thing. We saw something about people that curse seem to be more trustworthy.
Okay? Ooh, I like that.
People that curse, they're not trying to be phony. They appear to be much more trustworthy. And I say, well, I must be the most trustworthy motherfucker in the world because I let him fly. Me and Samuel L. Jackson let him fly. So his mama, I guess she saw or read what he was talking about, and her birthday is the same day as mine. And she came to a birthday party I gave. And the first thing she said was, happy birthday, motherfucker. And boy, I fell out laughing. And it was funny to me, okay? It was hilarious. And that was 3 or 4 years ago. And she still, hey, how my favorite motherfucker doing? Okay? And it's like moms may be talking crazy to you, whatever. And I don't feel offended. But if she got my favorite nigga, I might feel a little different, man. And I don't understand the psychology. I'm a grown ass man. I don't understand the psychology. Somebody, hey, what's up, motherfucker? Now we can take that word, which is probably one of the worst combination of words known to man. That I guess what it is, it's not directed at anybody because anybody can be a mom. Okay, anybody can be an MF. Okay, it's not directed to me personally. And think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. Anybody can be, and I think my boy, what's his name, Bill Burr, said it best. I love Bill Burr. He's a funny dude. He's a real dude. He's probably the closest thing we got to George Carlin right now. And he said it all depends on where you put the MF at. I think if you put it in the beginning or after he said something about he used an example where he goes at MF and Mexican. Oh, he said if you put it in the beginning, it's bad, but if you put it in the end, in the back, it's okay. And he used the example. Motherfucking Dusty, okay? Here come Dusty, motherfucker. Okay, here comes Dusty. Here come that motherfucking. Now, if I call you come motherfucking Dusty, everything changes. Oh man, why I gotta be that? Here come Dusty, motherfucker. And we do it all the time, and we don't even think about it, dude. And I just thought it was very interesting that word is, it's a lot harsher. It's harsher. It has, it includes your mama, okay, in directly, but it's much more. If you never heard anybody really complain about that word, that combination of words,
That's right.
you know, you don't hear them anybody complain about that combination of words. If you are, you are, okay. And some people are proud of them, a motherfucker on that. And it's just one of them things, man. I don't understand. We need to talk about it.
You know what? It's almost like you were reading my mind. I did a show on this specific topic. I just posted it about 8 o'clock this morning, and it also surrounded a story in hip hop right now that has gone viral. There's a popular up and coming rapper by the name of Drex the Joint, and he is a Mexican rapper. But what makes him different, Lonzo, is he is Afro Latino. A lot of people may or may not know there's a pretty large sized community of Afro Latinos in Mexico. They look just like Alonzo with hair and Afro back when he did back in say like they look like they're straight from Compton, wherever,
Right.
anywhere but Mexico. So he's going viral this week because him being from Santa Ana, he hangs around a lot of Latinos, and there's a video that's gone viral of him doing a live, and in the background, one of his friends says the N-word with the hard ER. Now, what I find ironic about this is if you watch this live, Lonzo, they literally say nigga with an A. I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you 60 times in a minute and a half video. Everything is nigga. Yeah, I told this nigga, man, yeah, I put that nigga. Everything was nigga, nigga, nigga. This guy's one of the guys of the maybe 10 say it with a hard ER. And that's the part that everyone's focusing on is the hard ER, when in the reality, there's a bunch of Latino dudes and whoever just saying nigga with an A. You probably just first hearing about this story. What are your general thoughts when you hear something like that?
And that's what the whole conversation was on Clubhouse. That hard ER. And here is what
this is probably what you guys were discussing this story. Was this within the past couple days? Yeah. So it was the story. It was the story. Okay.
Here comes the problem. As long as it was with the GA, it's a term of endearment. Just like any other, like a few other words in the English language, you have the same word, have one word, have the same spelling as another word with two different meanings. You have words that sound alike. You have synonyms, homonyms, and antonyms. Okay? And my whole thing was, if we're going to make this word something that is a term of endearment, it has to be universal. It has to be universal. That means that anybody can say it without threat of ass whooping. Okay. Do you want that kind of comfort though? And my partner was telling me that because it was such a, it's such a negative word directed toward people only, black people only, that it shouldn't be used at all. And I agree with that as well. And but it's such a when you have a language like the English language, which is very complex, you can give people a license to play games with words, but you can't give an individual a license to use the word, because the word, the derogatory term for Jewish is not to be used by anyone. And that's my only problem. That's my problem. Not that you can't use the word, that there is a line you can't draw for no one. And that's the problem I think I have, is that when I see other cultures who have words that they use amongst themselves, and to when one of them piss them off, they know what to call them. Okay, but you'll never hear that word used as a term of endearment. It ain't gonna happen. There has never been a black anti-defamation league, or African American anti-defamation league that stood up to everybody. That's one thing I can say about that community. They don't give a damn. They stand up to everybody. We have no fear. Okay. I remember at McCullough, I think I told the story before, I'm gonna tell it again. There was a group of two older Jewish gentlemen that was mocking Two Live Crew. Two Live Crew was hot as fish grease. They had this song called MFSB. It was a motherfucking son of a bitch. Okay. And also flipped over Mother, Father, Sister, Brother. Okay. And for some reason, these two old Jewish guys decided they wanted to make a record, and they would call themselves Two Live Jews. I'm at McCullough when the Jewish Anti-Defamation League sent McCullough the record and put this record out. We suing. But it wasn't. I don't care. We suing. It's two Jewish. We don't care. We suing. You put this record out. We are suing. We're coming after you. I don't care if it's two Jewish guys. We don't care. We will not allow you to play with this in any way, form, or fashion, because we give you an inch, we're going to take a mile. And that's what we're dealing with right now. If you give people an inch, they're going to take a mile. And that's the one thing I have to respect about that particular community. No, I don't give a damn. If it's one of our own, I don't care. You can't do it. And we all know Jew is not a bad word. But again, if you start letting them play with it, they're going to start tricking up, and they're going to start playing games. Next thing you're going to know, like I said before, if you give them an inch, they're going to take them out. We're not giving you shit. And that's the problem that we have with that word right there. Now everybody's people in crossed over. It's in everybody's records. You got all races saying it. But if the one if a white man said it's grounds for a meeting in HR or an ass whooping. How do we do that? How does that make sense to anybody but us? And that's the part we have no standards. I told the same story when I was on Clubhouse. My son went to school in Culver City, and I had to go to a PTA meeting. And most of the people at the PTA meeting was complaining that a lot of people was complaining that their kids was coming home hungry. Well, you have Indian kids that don't eat beef. Jewish kids don't eat pork. So if you got pizza with pepperoni, they're not eating that. And kids was coming home hungry. They was following the standards of the parents. And those standards were set at the house. And they're not kids just because they need a pad. That don't mean they're gonna break the parents' standards. They're gonna do whatever they were taught to do in their house. We never had that problem. Our kids, whatever's on the menu, we going for it. Pork, beef, whatever. And hey, man, everybody to each his own. But I just saw how there was a line that no matter what the school was on the menu, if it ain't something I can eat at home, I'm not eating it here. And that is something I think that we've been missing culturally for quite some time. There is no concrete foundation that says you can't say this, we're not doing this over here. If we say, okay, we're gonna keep the word, but you gotta take it off of records.
Man.
Huh?
No, that's so true. Keep it going.
If you want to keep the word, we got to take it out. You can't say the mixed company. You cannot. You can't, hey,
Thank
man.
you. Thank
Huh?
you. I've been saying that forever, man.
It's same words to be word with women. Women call each other the bees all day long. Let me and you call one of them. It's fighting words. That don't make no sense. Y'all they do it all the time. What's up, baby? What's up, baby? What's up, baby? What's up, baby? And they think they're being cool, but they just confusing the hell out of me because I'm not trying to get caught up. I'm not trying to get caught up. So if you say it at work, and not even you ain't got to say call them one. Just say they're acting like one. She acting like a bitch. Oh shit! Whoop, 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 whoop. All the shit, all the bells go off. Then you go to HR. Might miss a couple of days of work. You might get fired. How do you do that? It's too confusing. There's no lines, man. It's like trying to multiply letters. How do you multiply letters? How do you multiply letters? You have to have something that you can stand on. The English language has all types of variations that don't make sense to nobody but the person who made the word. How the hell you got a silent G? Okay. Why is there a PH instead of an F in front of a phone? Okay. Why is there so many different things that we can question just on the words that we use every day? But as we know, certain words have certain meanings. I don't give a damn where you're at. It could be a problem. And we have to find some way to curtail that and make it make sense to everybody, man, because it would help. One thing about numbers don't flat. It ain't no such thing as a silent zero.
Yeah.
Ain't no such thing as a silent number. Oh, the one is silent. Bullshit.
Oh, it ain't.
Bullshit. They ain't silent. Oh, the nines are silent. Bullshit. Okay. So yeah, Doc, we have to think about things and being a little bit more logical, so they can be so you can have a standard. That's all.
Yeah. And going back to a group that you're very close to, obviously, N.W.A, niggas with attitude. There is a derogatory word for Jewish people. It rhymes with bike. We'll just say if some Jewish dudes decide to do a thing called bikes with attitudes. I gotta be careful what I'm saying now. If Asian, there's a derogatory term for Asians. It rhymes with chips. Let's just say a couple of Asian dudes put together chips with attitudes. It would have been nipped in the bud right away, right? But
Yeah.
niggas with attitude,
No.
to the moon.
And so I tell you something else you'll never see. Rabbis of LA. When I saw pastors of LA, man, I was so disappointed. I told my pastor, the brother that church I go to, if I ever see you on pastors of LA, I'll never come back to your church again. I told him. Dude, no, man, we not turning pastors of. Come on, man. That goes to show you that how how disrespectful people think of how we allow ourselves to get disrespected. Somebody waved a check in the faces of some prominent people. Okay, none of them guys are broke. They waved a check in their face, and they bought them for a few seasons. They bought them for a few seasons. You can't do that with other countries. No, we're not doing no rabbis of LA. My brother, no, we're not doing that. Okay, imams of LA, we're not doing that. Okay, because they don't need that. I tell you something else you can't do. You can't tell me a big time rabbi in any church. You can't name. I can't name one. Huh? Your mic is off.
No, you're right. I'm just agreeing with you. You're so right.
I can't name. I know all the big time preachers, whether you Creflo Dollar and one just passed out in this church.
And you know what else you're not going to see, Lonzo? You're not going to see rabbis selling holy water at 3 o'clock in the morning on JET, not BET, JET. You know what I mean?
You're not going to do that. Okay? You're not going to do that. So I'm not saying what's right or wrong, but I tell you what, it's more respectable. I'm not saying with how they run their game, how they run their business, how they run their religion. I don't. It's not about being right or wrong. It's just more respectable. And if you want people to be a part of a religion, I would think respect would be probably one of the primary factors in making this happen. I think respect would be definitely a primary factor in order to make that happen.
Gary's Garage probably has the coldest line of the night. He said, Richard Pryor said when he was in Africa, he didn't see any niggas because there are none.
Yep.
I remember that too. That was a line from one of his stand-ups.
Yeah. But you have to be old enough to remember Richard Pryor and that particular thing. Now, was he as funny afterwards? I don't know. I don't know if he was as funny. Okay, but I know everybody when he did that. When he did Bicentennial Nigga, that nigga's crazy. He opened up the doors for a lot of other folks who thought, what? He did. And that's what happens. If George Carlin had said that, he'd never got off the shelves. And as long as we are the ones to introduce our own degradation, it's okay. Because if we don't check ourselves, ain't nobody else gonna check us. It's not my responsibility to come to Dusty's house and clean Dusty's house. And that's how people look at things like that. If you cool with your women doing what they do on YouTube and TikTok, it ain't my job to clean. I'm gonna look at you crazy. I might talk about you in various other platforms, but it ain't my job to clean that mess up. That's your mess. That's your mess. If you like living in the pigsty, knock yourself out.
Dropping some game tonight, Lonzo. We got about 10 minutes, about 9 minutes or so, but I wanted to touch base with you on something that you mentioned to me last week or the week before. I think it was last week during our D-Shot interview before he hopped on. But you said something that kind of blew my mind, man. I didn't know Yellow was significantly older than the other members of N.W.A. You mentioned Yellow is the closest in age to you and only by a few years.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting to me. Break that down, man.
I think Yellow might be 66, 65, 66. Dre's not 60. Dre's 59. He'll be 60 next month.
That's still a significant.
Yeah.
If 17 and 23, that's a big jump. You know what I mean?
Right.
Going back to their days.
Yeah, I think the hierarchy. I'm the oldest. Unknown is right behind me. I think Unknown's about 2 years behind me, and Yella is like 2, maybe 3 years, 2-3 years under Unknown. So Yella might be 60, 65, 64, 65. Yeah, easy. No. Yeah. Wait. Yella's about 4 years younger than me, 4 or 5 years younger than me. So he might be 63, 64.
Yeah, so I would love, I mean, we'll do it another time or whenever we have him on or something like that. But yeah, I would just love to know what his experience was like being, a little bit older than the rest of the crew. Because that's a significant age, like I said.
Well, here's one thing that I tell people all the time, man, and I didn't even realize it till later on, is that of all the guys that I work with, I've never met one of their dads. Everybody knew my dad. Everybody. My daddy would hop in when we go to Oakland to do a show. Mom, man, hop in the car. I'm gonna see my sister. Y'all gonna do your little show. I'm gonna be at my sister's house. And roll with us. I don't call him coming to no shows, but yeah, he'd hang out with us. See what we was doing, come out of the studio, what y'all doing. Okay. Come out here and I bought the house. He come out here and roll up on me in a minute. To see what was happening. So everybody knew Mr. Al. That was my daddy's, that was everybody called Mr. Al. But I've never met Yella, Unknown, Clientele, Shakespeare, Cube. Cube daddy's still alive, but I never met him. I know his mom, never met his dad. If I do, I can't recall meeting his dad. Okay. And I never met somebody else's dad I'm missing, but I never met nobody's dad. And I didn't realize until we was in Sacramento a couple of years ago, and it kind of came out like y'all looked at Lonzo as more than just being a group leader. He was like a big brother. I never knew that. I never knew that. But I was established when they all came to me. I had my first house, driving new cars, and I was that dude. So it was I got a nightclub, house, cars, kids, a kid. I was a grown ass. I was doing grown man shit, taxes, the whole 9 yards. They were still running around living with moms. No disrespect, but that's what they was doing. And it was until later on that folks started moving out and getting their own cars. I helped people get cars, and so it was a whole different situation. And when we was getting things done, I didn't see it like that. I didn't see it. We got money, go get you a car, man. Hey, find you something to roll. Hey, you want to buy this from right here? I didn't want to sell dream my car. I never like selling cars to people that I know. One, I don't like seeing them again because most of the time my brother bought a couple of cars for me. He tore up and just broke my heart to see something I put so much money and time into just get messed up. But it was, then when something happened, something can happen 6 months down the line. It's still your fault. Come on, man. You're the one that was doing donuts and trying to make the car do wheelies and shit. Why is that my fault? Okay. But yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a slight difference.
Yeah. Well, we have about 3 or 4 more minutes. What's coming up, Lonzo? I mean, it's 2025, man. I know you always hit the ground running. What's next, and how's your documentaries doing? Let's break that down for a few minutes.
My N.W.A. documentary premieres in the San Diego Film Festival end of this month. I think it's like the 29th of January. Prime time, 8 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, just like we did in L.A. In San Diego Film Festival. I just got nominated for an award by Assemblyman Mike Gibson, community leadership something or another. Man, they called me today. I'm like, I got what? Okay, cool. And here's the crazy part. Let me tell you this story right quick. I got a minute. 3 weeks ago, the last city council meeting of Compton, I was in line to possibly get a building in Compton. And it was on the agenda, and people who I did not know, and one person that I did, came up and talked about I shouldn't get a building because I haven't been in Compton working long enough. So yesterday, I went to the city council meeting, and I explained to folks, obviously y'all don't know who I am, don't know my credentials and my accomplishments. So I gave them a brief resume, only had a minute, gave them a brief resume on who I am, what I've done, what I'm doing for the city of Compton, and you might want to leave me the fuck alone, okay? In a very nice way. And today, I get a call from Mike Gibson's office, the assemblyman for the state of California, and I've been nominated for an award for my community service. I'm like, wow. Hey, man, one day you're trying to fight for your right to party, next minute you on the guest list, so it's all good.
What a difference a day makes, man.
What a difference a day makes, man.
Yeah, I love hearing that. And did you already do your Sacramento trip?
Sacramento got postponed. Kevin's mom passed, man, the week before the Sacramento trip. Sacramento's been pushed back to March the 10th.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be doing a lot of traveling. I should be able to still do my show. I'm bring my laptop. I'll probably be doing it from, won't have all my gadgets and stuff, but we'll still be able to communicate and make some things happen.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan, man. Any last words before we head out?
Man, just if you can help these folks with a donation, whatever the case may be, everything is appreciated. Like I said, my girl called me today, said they need cash. Like I said, man, nobody wants to win or use draws. So go and help somebody get some draws, man.
For real.
Somebody get some draws, okay? All right?
All right, man. Hit him with that outro, Lonzo.
Time to wrap up, folks. For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery. Stuck Ice Cube in the freezer until he got cold on the eve after dark, 50-yard line, the Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that the Hollywood bullshit, because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for not without Alonzo. Peace, folks. Y'all have a good evening.